10 new rules in the NBA's new comeback season. Before we start, I would want you to hit that red subscribe button so that you never miss out on any of our videos. Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to NBA Orb. While player movement dominated the headlines during the offseason, the different jerseys for some of the league's biggest stars won't be the only changes in the NBA's comeback season. There were a number of new rule changes implemented during the offseason, which are a highlight in this new video. Coaches can now challenge once per game. As Steve Ashburner of NBA.com broke down, coaches around the league will be given one challenge per game to utilize when they disagree with a call from an official. Coaches must call a timeout to use a challenge, and they only get one throughout the game, regardless of the final ruling. If the challenge is won, the team that initiated the review receives its timeout back. The challenge can only be made for 3 different plays: when the challenging team's player is called for a foul, an out-of-bounds decision, or on a goaltending basket interference ruling against the challenging team. Coaches can use this new tool throughout the entire game. If questioning a foul called against their team, but can only challenge on an out-of-bounds or goaltending situation in the first 46 minutes, because the traditional replay system that calls for automatic reviews on borderline plays in the last 2 minutes is still in place. I've been a proponent of it for many years, just as an additional layer of security, Dallas Mavericks coach Rick Carlisle said per Ashburner. If a call's inaccurate for any reason, it's just an extra chance, particularly if the game's on the line, to get it right. Coaches must decide on their starting lineups earlier. All coaches must submit their starting lineups at least 30 minutes before tip-off this season. This will surely come in handy for those sports gamblers who want to wager on the games and be aware of which starters are sitting out on a given night before doing so. It will come in handy for fantasy basketball players as well. New points of emphasis for officials. Ashburner noted there are a number of new points of emphasis for officials this season, the most notable of which involves traveling. NBA Vice President of Referee Development and Training, Monty McCutcheon, said there will now be a more stringent enforcement of traveling. What's more, the gather is now officially in the league's rulebook, which states that player can take 2 steps from the moment they fully control the ball. Additional points of emphasis include illegal contact initiated by the offense, freedom of movement, and respect for the game moments, which will allow officials to determine if players go over the top when reacting to a call. That's probably something for Draymond Green, Russell Westbrook, and Kevin Durant to keep in mind after they led the league in technical fouls last season. Stricter punishment for tampering. Tim Bontemps of ESPN.com reported in September the NBA's Board of Governors approved stricter punishments around the league for tampering and salary cap circumvention. Teams can lose draft picks and be fined up to $10 million if they violate the tampering rules. What's more, executives can be suspended and contracts can be voided. Perhaps the biggest development is the fact that teams have to save communications with agents for an entire year, and 5 teams per season will be subject to random auditing. Now, here are some rules that the NBA may consider for next season. International goaltending. The current rule says after a shot hits the rim, neither team can touch it until it's below the rim or outside the cylinder. If the defense touches it, it's considered goaltending, and the basket counts. If the offense touches it, it's whistled as an offensive interference and the other team gets the ball. The potential change: once the ball hits the rim, it's fair game for either team. The offense can tip it from above, the defense can go up for it and tip it out or grab it. No more restrictions after the ball hits the rim. Europe plays by this rule. Verdict: 3 out of 10. While I admit it would be cool to see the NBA's athletic players go above the rim and see more tip dunks and athletic rebounds, it would take a while to adjust to this change, and there's really no problem with how it is now. Shortened season. Each NBA team plays an 82 regular game season. The change: shorten the season to somewhere between 60 and 75 games. The verdict: 4 out of 10. This is a tough one. There are plenty of advantages to a shorter season. There would be more rest for players, and each game would become more meaningful. However, once we mess with the season length, record books are affected. The NBA has such a rich history, and I for one am excited to see where players like LeBron and Kevin Durant will end up on the all-time scoring list. If the season was shortened, statistics like that would be altered, and it's not quite worth that sacrifice. This brings us to the end of our video. I hope you've enjoyed it. Hit the like if you did, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel so that you don't miss any of our videos in the future. Also, watch the 2 videos that are on your screen, because I'm sure you'll love them. With that, I'll see you in the next video.